salutaris nostre, Domine ex Deus, Deus 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 noster, Domine ex este, Rabbaneri, Arcangeli, Pateti, Ladamontemrem, Domino Maestatis, Davemus, Oremus, Gloria, Alleluia, Benedicte, Christus noster, Alleluia,
Hey, how's everybody doing? Hoping you're having a fantastic, fabulous, amazing, wonderful day. I hope that today is just a great day for you because it's Thursday, September 12th, the 2024th year of our Lord. So there's some news out there. You know, our good friend, Redeem Zoomer, he has made an announcement. And I mean, it's kind of relevant because you guys have been almost every live stream I've had, you guys have been commenting under my tweets occasionally. People have been DMing me when I'm in VC. They'll ask me about it. They'll ask me about the status of a discussion I was supposed to have with Redeem Zoomer, because we talked about, well, I kind of did a little trolling. I was based in Epic for this. I did a little trolling on Twitter, where every time Redeem Zoomer, well, not every time, but every time I would see Redeem Zoomer, I didn't like seek it out or anything. He would say something against Catholicism. I mean, I would quote tweet and say, "Hey, RZ, you want to, come on and talk about it?" Specifically, we were going to talk about various issues surrounding veneration of the saints. It wasn't meant to be a debate or anything like that. I don't think RZ wanted to do a debate with me, which is fine. I mean, I get that. I understand for sure. But we were supposed to have a discussion on this, and I was kind of hyped for it. I was excited. Redeem Zoomer and I can do a little chatting. I think I could convince him. I mean, I think I could convince Redeem Zoomer. I think I could have him concede a lot. I think it'd be fun. I think he's a good guy. He's not extremely obstinate or anything like that. So I thought it'd be a great discussion. But he recently made an announcement on his Discord and also on Twitter that I wanted to kind of go over, because I've had non-public, I guess you could say, conversations with Redeem Zoomer on a number of occasions in like VCs and stuff, and with other people would join as well. I know the people he's talking about, for example. We've had those type of discussions, and the discussions have went well. I mean, I think he's a great guy. I think he made absolutely the right decision here. I commend him for the decision. This is not a Redeem Zoomer hate train, anything like that. I like the guy. I think he's a good guy. I think he'd make an excellent Catholic. But I think he's a good guy. But I think he made the decision here in a correct way. I think a lot of the people around him that I actually know some of these people from well before Redeem Zoomer times. I know them from way back from when I was like one of these guys from when I was like 18. I know him. Known some of them for a while. And they were encouraging to make basically this decision. So I think a lot of people are definitely happy about this on both Protestant and Catholic sides. So I'm going to read out what he said, and then I'm going to, I don't know, comment on it, or maybe something like that. I don't know what I'm going to say about it or anything like that. I don't know. I can take questions if you guys have questions related to this. But here it goes. So for the time being, the discussion between me and Redeem Zoomer, not going to happen. Don't harass him about it or anything like that. Don't, go into his comments, into his replies, into his DMs and say like, "Hey, I have a discussion with Wagner," or anything like that. Don't do that. Please don't. Please, I'm begging you guys. I'm being serious here. I'm not even doing the thing where I just kind of jokingly say don't do something. I actually mean do something. No, I'm serious about it. This is a good thing, okay? This is a good thing because when it comes to, I'll explain that. You guys be like, please read it. Please read it. I can't read it. Well, get glasses or something. I don't know, bros. I'll read it. Okay, I'll read it. Because apparently it's too small for you guys. He said, and this is from his Discord server, I'd like to announce that I'm giving up Protestant apologetics. It's been the biggest waste of time of my life. I haven't defended Protestantism one bit and have only made more people leave Protestantism, seeing how bad I was at it. I'm also annoyed at much smarter Protestants who could have helped me in the trenches but chose to not make their own YouTube channels and just be armchair quarterbacks for me. I've realized that Protestantism in its current state is not something that can be defended with a straight face. It's become a joke. So I'll focus all my efforts on reviving institutional Protestantism so it can even hold its own. I'll focus on fighting liberalism in the main lines and anti-intellectualism and anti-traditionalism among evangelicals, something I can actually do. If you want me to convert to Catholicism, I want you to, Redeem Zoomer. Please just come on here. We'll have like a 10-hour discussion. I'll convince you. Trust the plan. I'll convince you. If you want me to if you want to, not if you want me. I want him to. But if you want to convert, I do. I'm already converted. If you want to convert to Catholicism, Oriental Orthodox, or Eastern, I can't say I approve, but I can't say I blame you either with how weak and pathetic Protestantism is. Protestants need to take the log out of our eyes before pointing to the Catholic and Orthodox specks. And then he says, this is kind of a funny moment. And look at the Star of David react to this was kind of funny. It's kind of funny. And this isn't my screenshot. So whatever this react is was not me. I don't know what that react is. I'm doing one more debate with the catechumen because I'm being paid to, but that's it. So Redeem Zoomer, Protestant apologetics, Protestant polemics, anti-Catholic polemics. He's basically through with it. He's saying that, he attempted to it because he had a platform. He had a platform and he was pro-Protestant. And because of this, he felt some sort of level of obligation to defend Protestantism. And I think this actually teaches us something very important. This is something I've said for a while, is none of you out there, none of you listening. Okay, I see a super chat. What do you guys have? He's asking for the link. Who's asking? Zoomer? Oh, Zoomer's here. Is he here? Look at the chat, fatty. Am I hiding? Okay. I'll send him the link. Okay. RZ, I'll just DM it to you on Twitter. Okay. But basically, what I wanted to say is I think that we do have a culture of basically people with platforms like Redeem Zoomer. They feel a certain obligation. They feel some sort of drive to no matter what your skill level is. You need to go on to be a keyboard warrior. You need to go on. You need to defend Catholicism or Protestantism or Eastern Orthodoxy or whatever it is. And this really isn't a healthy religious environment. So even though I'm Catholic, and I know most of you guys are Catholic, it doesn't matter. You can actually do more harm to your religion by trying to defend it than just shutting up. Okay? And I think that's something that the people around Redeem Zoomer told him. And I mean, this is something that he's very self-aware. He understands that this is the case. And I DM'd it to you, RZ. He understands that this is the case. So this is the decision that he has made. And it's a great decision. It's a smart decision. And I mean, I really respect him for making this decision. But I see that he's in the chat. I did send it to him, so we'll see. Okay, yap. Bring him before us. Okay, stop. Shut up about me yapping. I'm trying to make this a teaching lesson, guy. I'm trying to make this a lesson. Okay. I'm trying to use this as an opportunity to bring up something for you guys, because this is something that a lot of us share. And I mean, this isn't me even saying that I've never done this before. I mean, there's certain aspects of Catholicism because it's just so extensive that I haven't studied. There's certain aspects which I haven't, deeply researched, and I've tried to in the past to discuss those things. And I mean, it wasn't a smart idea for me to do it. And in many cases, I was actually embarrassed by trying to do that. But how's it going, RZ? You're small right now. Let me change.
Yeah. How's it going, man?
It's going well. So what's up with today's announcement? I mean, was it just pure frustration? Has this been something you've been planning for a while?
Yeah, so this my announcement was not out of frustration with Catholics. I'm not mad at the Catholics. I'm not mad at the Orthodox this time. Previously, I have gotten frustrated. I'm frustrated with other Protestants, frankly. I'm
Mm,
frustrated with how much of a joke Protestantism has become, honestly, because so many Protestants are just so retreatist. They don't care about preserving their own institutions, and that's why we're in such a mess. So it's like, and those same Protestants who are retreatist expect me to be like the keyboard warrior against the Catholics. Is like, I'm not going to defend Protestantism if you can't even keep it good, if you can't even preserve it. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't we focus on helping Protestantism? Why don't we focus on getting rid of our lesbian pastors, and then we can start debating the Catholics? Maybe. How about that?
yeah, did you happen to see my or see of the existence of my stream about the GAFCON and the female bishops in Africa?
I mean, I saw your thumbnail. I didn't watch the video, but it's true
Yeah.
that even the good parts of Protestantism still aren't that good today. The fall of the mainline churches is not something Protestantism can recover from. So, I mean, it's not like I'd still rather go to a PCA church than a Catholic church. I regularly do go to a PCA church. But it's
Mhm.
not like Protestantism can just rebuild after losing the mainstream historic institutions. Protestantism is really hard to defend since we don't have our historic institutions like Catholics and Eastern Orthodox do. So I'm still letting other people do it. It's like the other Paul, he's good at what he does. Jordan Cooper, he's good at what he does. But that's not my job. My job is to try and take the log out of Protestants' eye rather than trying to point out the speck in the Catholic's eyes.
Yeah, do you so when you, because I know that you've done things with like secularism. So just as a point of curiosity, I mean, when you talk to secularists or when you do a sort of online or in-person evangelism with these individuals, I mean, where do you send them? What do you tell them? Like do you leave it at Christianity and then just kind of, stop? Because obviously, you can't just say, hey, you're going to be Christian, and I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, if you're a cradle Catholic, I guess they think that means go to a Catholic church. If they're Hillsong whatever, I mean, they'll think it means that. So, like, practically speaking, I'm just curious what the sort of way going forward would be with this.
I send them my map of remaining traditional Protestant churches.
Mm,
Uh, but there's a reason that such a map is necessary. You don't need a map of Catholic churches. There's just Catholic churches everywhere. It's like I do have a map of Protestant churches in the that are still like, that 10% of Protestant churches that are both conservative and traditional.
mm,
Presbyterian, Lutheran, Anglican that have pretty buildings and stuff and still hold to Orthodox teaching. But the reason such a map is necessary is because Protestantism overall is really not in the best state. So I would direct them towards that when they tell me they want to become Christian. But if they can't find anything on my map, I'm like, okay, yeah, just go to whatever church. If that's a Catholic church, still way better than being secular from my perspective. But my next debate is not going to be with a Catholic. I'm doing one more debate with the catechumen, but my next debate is with a very liberal mainline UCC pastor.
okay, interesting. So, what is your debate with the catechumen? What's that on? I'm curious. I haven't seen anything about this.
I'm debating the infallibility of ecumenical councils.
Oh, really? Really? Yeah, actually, I think him and the other Paul, I wrote an essay way back. This was like, I think like my first year at Davenant. So this was a few years ago. I wrote an essay on the like 4th and 5th century ecclesiastical authors and how they viewed the infallibility of the Council of Nicaea. I think I sent that to him. So maybe I'll send that to you as well to kind of give you a, yeah, real r/Catholic dating with RZ. Yeah, I actually trolled your Reddit one time. I posted that they all should become Catholic, and most of
You
them were
wouldn't,
like, "Well, we already are."
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, so most of your following, because I mean, our followings, I guess, don't really, at least my following, if you're following, don't really overlap a bunch. Like, what generally speaking is like the average Redeemed Zoomer follower? I'm curious.
Well, the average Redeemed Zoomer follower is not Presbyterian, honestly. Most of them are, I'd say the majority are still Baptist or non-denominational, just like vaguely evangelical. And I'd say there's way more Catholics and Orthodox individually than Presbyterians. Like most of my followers on YouTube, most of my 450,000 YouTube subscribers are not mainline Protestants, are not Presbyterians, and don't even necessarily agree with most of what I say. Most of them are just there from like the little quick, brief Christianity explained videos that I've made. And you know, people joke about how I'm like the best Catholic apologist. I probably have made more people go from Protestant to Catholic than from Catholic to Protestant, but going from Protestant to Catholic is just the trend these days. So I'm kind of swimming against the tide. I will say I probably made more people go from non-denom to classical Protestant than from generally Protestant to Catholic.
Yeah, so you mentioned some individuals, and actually there's a super chat. Redeem Zoomer, I've been a Catholic reply guy to your account in the past and always appreciated you, even though we disagree. As a final send-off, can you say why you think Protestantism has fallen so far? Okay, it's clickbait. My title and thumbnail are clickbait. He's not like leaving the internet forever, guys. He's just
Yeah, I'm a little annoyed by like the clickbait thumbnail, but it's fine. It's fine. I would do the same. I do clickbait all the time. So why have Protestants fallen so far? It's retreatism. That's the fatal flaw of Protestantism, and just conservatism generally speaking. I wouldn't say Catholics are entirely exempt because they don't have ecclesiastical retreatism like Protestants, but conservatives in the culture war are every bit as retreatist if they're Catholic or secular, whatever. Conservatives, generally speaking, retreat all the time, and the only thing preventing the apostolic churches from being retreatist is their theology tells them they can't, which is good. But I'd prefer if conservatives generally didn't have the retreatist mindset in the first place.
Yeah, do you think that, like, when you look at Catholics, generally speaking, like all of the sort of subcultures within Catholicism, would you say that you respect somebody like me who goes to a Novus Ordo, just goes to a normal parish and kind of finds it much better than somebody who's, you know, like a sedevacantist or somebody who SSPX or somebody like that?
Oh yeah, like I respect you for going to Novus Ordo as opposed to like the Byzantine Rite or whatever. Like Novus Ordo is good. I like Pope Francis. I like Vatican II. I like all that. I think Vatican II is why the Catholic Church is so good at like interacting with science and stuff, because the Catholic Church has been able to adjust to modernity without abandoning its core beliefs, and I think that's very valuable. I think that's indispensable to the Catholic Church, and so yeah, I do very much respect you for that.
Yeah, so so you mentioned like Byzantine Catholicism, because that's usually like the Novus Ordo apologists way. So thoughts on Michael Seraphim Lofton?
Michael Lofton, I've heard a lot about him. I don't really watch his stuff. Isn't he the kind of guy who always tries to defend the Pope no matter what?
Yeah. Man, I can't believe you're not in on the Loftenstein lore. He actually, you know, I've joked Loftenstein. He's actually like a normal white guy. He just I think his mother converted to Judaism and like moved the family to Israel. So he's like this normal white guy from Louisiana who happened to just spend a few years in Israel growing up. So
he's like the opposite of my dad.
Chad comes on with the bow tie. So true. Is RZ mad that Inquisitor won't do apologetics?
Not just Inquisitor. So yes, the people I was talking about, not just people in the CTD Discord, although they are included. There's so many like Protestants who criticize the way I do things. They say I'm too ecumenical with papists.
Yeah.
Right. They say I'm too soft on. I compromise too much with egalitarians in the church. I'm like, okay, you do it. Seriously. Like some of them say, oh, I don't have as big a platform as you. No, you don't have any platform because you didn't make a single YouTube channel at all. So a lot of these Protestants think they know so much more than me. They probably do. Many of them definitely know more than me. You would agree most of those CTD keyboard warriors know way more than me, but they're not making YouTube channels. So I'm hoping that my stepping down from Protestant apologetics will actually help Protestant apologetics. It'll create sort of a power vacuum that'll force these people to get off their butts and start doing stuff.
Yeah, well, I hope that doesn't happen, so I can continue lobbing attacks on Protestantism. Tomorrow, RZ, I actually have a video on Sola Scriptura. I usually don't talk about Sola Scriptura because I don't like the obsession with everybody seeming to think that, you know, they need to talk about sola scriptura all the time. I think there's more interesting things to talk about. But I did finally, I've been thinking about and reading about some things for the last few months. So I did finally decide to do that. But somebody asked, ask RZ, did you see Danny's Truth_Matters 20 semi-weird rant about RZ's announcement?
Is that the Lutheran guy who was really, really mad that I didn't speak about Protestantism in the most positive light?
I don't know. Let me see. I'll pull it up right now for us. If I'm not even blocked. Okay, I'm not blocked. Okay, he's oh no, he just has like one little thing to say. I don't know why this is considered a rant, but thank you for the super chat. Let me just bring it up. This is a massive failure to recognize the fact that goats have always been the sheep.
Not the guy I was thinking of. Not the guy I was thinking of. I haven't seen
the fact that cats and orthos are more united in their heresies only proves that they're in cults. It's never about prots versus X. It's about biblical versus unbiblical. Okay, yeah. So do you think Catholicism? Actually, I don't think you think that Catholicism is heretical. Is that correct, or am I incorrect about that?
That's correct. I do not think Catholicism is heretical. I think it's wrong. I don't think it's heretical.
And you think that the Catholic Church is a true church, right?
I think it's part of the true church. Yeah.
A true church preaching the gospel and administering the sacraments.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I used to rank them above Baptists, and now I might rank them below, at least if we're talking about like traditional Baptists. But yeah, I'm not one of those Protestants who think Catholics are like unsaved or heretical or anything like that.
Yeah, what do you mean by traditional Baptist? Are you talking about like 1689, like Gavin Ortland's type Baptist? Or are you talking about, you know, like my grandma Baptist?
I'm not, honestly, both. Like mainline Baptist is what I'm talking about. Like American Baptist or Southern Baptist is way better than like IFB or non-denominational or things like that.
Okay, interesting. Ridge, hey RZ, do you still agree with your statement to me about Catholicism being a pagan cult? Also, please unblock me, Heart.
I don't think I ever said Catholicism is a pagan cult. Just like all the CTD guys, I've adopted some of their lingo. I make extremist statements sometime. I don't think I ever said Catholicism as a whole is a pagan cult. I've critiqued some paganistic or cultish practices within the Catholic Church. I'm not sure if I ever said that as a whole. There are a few people I've blocked just because they were annoying me, but no, I don't believe Catholicism is a pagan cult. No.
Yeah, so you would say that there are probably like different local practices within the Catholic Church in some areas that take upon pagan elements.
Oh yeah, there's pockets within Catholicism that are heretical, but the same is true of Presbyterianism. I mean, the moderator of my local presbytery is a lesbian, and I don't know if
wait, bro. Oh no. Dang, the FBI wouldn't be able to get that one out of me.
Yeah.
Bro, that's brutal. That's rough.
Like, yes, I know a lot of Latin American Catholics worship skeletons, but a lot of Presbyterians worship pride flags. So we're all totally depraved here. I have no business judging the Catholics for things like that.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, yeah, I would definitely agree with you under that aspect. But people are asking about Marian stuff. So you say you've affirmed the perpetual virginity.
Yes.
And you affirm the bodily assumption.
I don't affirm the bodily assumption or deny it. I'm agnostic at this point. I don't have enough information to conclude. And I don't see why it matters yet. Heinrich Bullinger definitely did affirm the bodily assumption. And I'm not sure if any of the reformers actually affirm the Immaculate Conception. There's some language like Zwingli called Mary immaculate. Does that mean he's affirming the Immaculate Conception? I'm not sure. But definitely I have a much higher Mariology than your average lay Protestant today. And most Protestants did up until pretty recently.
So what would you say, because obviously with like such a high view of Our Lady, you would be able to make like, you know, when you're, let's say you pick up your Bible, you're reading through scripture and you see all of these good things being said about Our Lady, and you have certain like, obviously like internal affections, you know, which are in relation to her eminent holiness, the closeness to her son, and her central place in in redemption and stuff like that. Where would you say that the limit sort of stands with like actually expressing in a bodily manner like those internal feelings that you may have,
Right. I'd say the limit is trying to actually communicate with
Mhm.
anyone who, like, trying to non-physically communicate with anyone who's not God.
Mhm.
So I've made many posts. I've pissed off many Baptists by saying, if it weren't for Mary, we wouldn't have been saved. Like, so many Baptists will say, "Oh, I wouldn't have been saved if it weren't for John MacArthur and his like
Mhm.
preaching or whatever."
Yeah, yeah,
You wouldn't
yeah.
have been saved if it weren't for Mary. You could be the
Mhm.
most low church Billy Bob Bible believing Baptist and affirm that, yeah, technically, if Mary didn't exist, Jesus wouldn't have been born, and maybe God could have done it some other way, but that's not how it happened.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, like, you'd probably be fine if I took those sort of affections that I had when I was considering Our Lady, and I like wrote a song or wrote like a poem or something like that, extolling her virtues. Like, would you be fine with that?
If it's about her, sure. If it's like to her, that's different. Like, I've
Mhm.
never written a song about John Calvin. Maybe I did. It wouldn't exactly be idolatry if I wrote a song about John Calvin, but if I started like putting my hands together and singing "Hail Calvin," that would
Yeah.
that, that would be a little bit different.
Yes, there's
Um,
actually this theologian named Johannes Wiggers, and in the beginning of his book of theology, it says "O great Wiggers." So would you be fine if I said like "O great Calvin" or something like that? An expression like that.
it's a little weird. Is Johannes Wiggers a real guy?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. He's absolutely a real guy. I can show you. No,
I
I'm
think you
dead
should
serious.
answer your super chats because
Oh yeah.
people are paying you, and as my ancestors know, money is very important. So
Dude, I laughed so hard when I noticed your next post after your announcement. It said, "I'm doing one more debate with the catechumen because I'm being paid to." Dude, I was so
yeah,
RZ. What is your definition of heresy?
I mean, my definition of heresy is a belief that destroys the essence of the faith, and I I used to say like, oh, a heresy is anything outside the Nicene Creed. There's problems how you interpret the Nicene Creed. You
Yeah.
could theoretically think of heresies not covered by the Nicene Creed. So I guess my position now is I can't like make a list of every single thing you must believe to not be a heretic, because then theoretically you could think of a way to still be a heretic. But I'd
Hmm.
say that when you see it. If it clearly redefines God, it clearly redefines the gospel. There's certain things we know are heresy, but we don't exactly know every possible heresy that one could commit. So I would
Hmm.
restrict the definition of heresy to something that like fundamentally gets God wrong. So you're not just wrong about God, you're literally worshiping a different God. So that's
Hmm.
why like a lot of people say Catholics are heretics for denying sola fide. Well, is sola fide the essence of the faith? No. If it was, the church fathers would have said it, and they didn't say it. Um, what the church fathers did focus on was who is God, who is Christ. That is the essence of the faith. So if you get that wrong, that's heresy. So that's why I think um, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses,
Yeah.
basically, and it's also very obvious which groups are heretical because the differences between Nicene Christians and each other are way smaller than the difference between Nicene Christians and Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses. So it's not actually that hard to determine which groups are heretical. Now, which individual beliefs are heresy? Like, can an Apollinarian be saved, or can a monotheletist be saved? That's a bit more difficult, for sure.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. So you would cut it off at a pretty because I was going to ask about like Oriental Orthodox and stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, we always get this one every time. RZ, what stops you from being Catholic?
Well, I don't know what stops you from being a global Methodist. I mean, I'm happy being a Presbyterian. So, like, I mean, yes, the Presbyterian Church has problems, but I'm still happy being a Presbyterian. So, yeah. The thing that stops you from being a global Methodist or a Welsh Calvinistic Episcopalian is because you're probably happy as a Catholic. I'm happy as a Presbyterian.
I don't know, bro. The Welsh Calvinistic Episcopalians kind of go hard. not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sanctified, thank you for the huge super chat.
Dang.
But one of the reasons Prots become libs is because it's less institutional than the Eastern/Catholic Church. This causes more political/cultural influence on the church, and that's why Prots always need Christian political leaders. Watch, not saying the last part. Yeah. Do you know about this? Don't say the name of the thing, okay? You don't know
No,
about
I'm not
that.
going to get you demonetized. I don't know what this is
Yeah.
at all, and I probably don't want to know.
Yeah, it's about your people.
Okay, well, that's probably
It's,
not something you want to say on YouTube then.
Yeah, it's a case study about your ancestors. Yeah, that's like an old internet meme.
I
But
see.
thank you, Sanctified, for the $100. I do not approve of this for sure. What I was going to say about what he said is I've kind of had this interesting consideration always about the kind of the way that Protestantism went on, especially in the English context, like before the English Civil War and the battles between the conformists and the nonconformists. It literally just felt like they were playing out the Reformation, over again, just within, England. Do you think that this isn't meant to be a polemical question, but do you think that there is anything, problematic about even though you agree with their points, problematic about the Reformation in that it would cause a retreatist mentality?
I don't think the Reformation caused the retreatist mentality. The conservative retreatist mentality is very specific to how people have reacted to modernism. And the retreatist mentality among conservatives exists all across the board. There's not a single place where it doesn't exist. I think even the name conservative is a little bit retreatist because it seeks to go back to something. And newsflash, you can't actually go back in time. So I think instead we have to sort of rebrand Christianity as the new progressive. We have to progress beyond leftism towards Christianity rather than trying to go backwards from leftism back to a more Christian age. Because if you magically could go back in time, you'd end up back where you started. So
Yeah,
I don't
this is
think
basically like what Pope Francis actually says, interestingly
Really?
enough, about conservatism. Yeah, he has some occasionally some pretty stinging words about how conservatives always want to, go back, and he's like, we need to go forward,
Man, Pope
and figure
Francis
out
is
problems.
based. It's almost like he's infallible or something.
So true, King. So true.
Okay. But you also asked the nonconformist is sort of like the Reformation playing out in England. It's like, I mean, yeah, with any movement, it just doesn't happen once. It sort of echoes many times. So it was a constant struggle between high church and low church, and we should expect to see that play out many different times. And I think the heritage of the Scottish Covenanters and the Presbyterians and the Cromwellians was very based. And I think we wouldn't have America without it. I'm sure you agree that we wouldn't have America without people like Samuel Rutherford. I think America's great, and I think it's very good that they did all that. And I don't know, even as a Catholic, you could probably say there were many good things in God's providence about America that came about as the result of many Presbyterians, even if they were, not correct.
Yeah. Do you think the formation of Presbyterianism was a form of retreatism, though, from the established church, or do you think that because it was principled in such a way as to be a conscience issue, that it was actually justified?
Well, when I think of retreatism, it's mostly in the context of liberal versus conservative. So I'm not really thinking about that in terms of the high church, low church debate, because all sides of that had a lot of political and institutional power. But in the modern liberal versus conservative debate, we're in a situation where the Frankfurt School and the cultural Marxists have hijacked all the institutions. And retreatism is the conservative reaction to that, where they just run away from the institutions and try to build new ones. We all know who hijacked the institutions, and we need to get better at conquering and subverting institutions like they are. That's what I think. We need to use the tactics of the left against them because they've been massively successful. And Catholics can get on board with this. Everyone needs to participate in a general reconquista of the institutions, of Harvard and Yale and, the cities and the mainstream media. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about retreatism. I'm not talking about the idea of ever leaving anything ever.
Okay, I get what you're saying. RZ, what are your thoughts on Jay Dyer?
I mean, he's very good at what he does. I don't have any beef with Jay Dyer himself.
Yeah, me
Mostly just
neither.
the orthobro community is very annoying, but it's not really Jay Dyer himself. I appreciate that Dyer always makes the distinction between like classical Protestants and Baptist-costal evangelicals, and how he also doesn't really say, oh, Protestantism as a whole is liberal. He recognizes liberalism exists in every denomination, including Eastern Orthodoxy.
Hmm. Read my super chat. I already read your super chat. Oh, great Wiggers. Okay, thank you for the membership.
Okay.
RZ never punches right when he disagrees. Why not?
I often punch right. I was accused by Matthew Everhart of only punching right and never punching left. I think he forgot that I literally nailed 95 theses against liberalism to hundreds of churches in my denomination. I think he forgot about that.
Have they kicked you out yet?
No, I have not been kicked out.
Hmm. Has there been any like formal ecclesiastical motions ever, or is it kind of just like lesbian priests are mad at you?
There's even some liberal pastors who are willing to dialogue with me. There are a lot of pastors who are mad at me, but there's not much they can do about it. It's like, because the Presbyterian Church is like a very bottom up hierarchy, it'd be very hard for like General Assembly to convene specifically to kick me out. So the only people who could kick me out are like the elders at my church, and they all know me. I've been a member of that church. My dad's one of the elders. I'm not getting kicked out. It's just unrealistic.
Yeah. So I had a question connected to that. Oh yeah, I recently had a discussion because there was some sort of announcement about consideration in the PCUSA of requiring pastors to marry homosexual couples.
Yeah, that's the thing.
that
Reconquista defeated that.
oh really?
Our nonprofit Presbyterians for the Kingdom sent, our president attended General Assembly, and he got that motion amended such that it protected conservatives. So there's still a bunch of sodomites in our denomination, which is not good, but we actually did something. We protected like 800 or so conservative PCUSA congregations from getting their pastors removed. So we actually did something. And 800 PCUSA congregations, that's bigger than the entire size of the OPC, for example.
Bro, that's kind of throwing shade at the OPC. That's crazy. That's funny
Yeah.
though. I love the OPC, the One Pure Church. Thoughts on Eucharistic miracles?
I think there's miracles in every denomination, and I don't really think the claims of miracles in one denomination are any stronger than any other. I'm agnostic about most of these things, like Eucharistic miracles or Marian apparitions, because if the literal Catholic Church does not require me to believe in them, then I don't think I should be required myself either. But I'm like a hopeful agnostic about most miracles like this, because it is a good apologetic against atheism, against pure naturalism. So it's the same with the Shroud of Turin. Someone's asking about the Shroud of Turin. Same with the Shroud of Turin.
Yeah, it's funny because I at least recall Hume kind of trolling Protestants during his day when they tried to assert the miracles of the gospel to him. Hume responded and said, "Hey, there's all those papist miracles over here that you deny. Like, what's up with that?" Yeah, I think that I mean I agree with you. I think that I think that Catholics shouldn't dogmatically exclude the fact that God could work miracles outside of the visible bounds of those in communion with the Bishop of Rome, for sure. Okay, Ridge is trolling you. You know heresy when you see it, just like the canon of Scripture. Self-authenticating, true, so true.
Yes, I love using private judgment. I mean, I personally think the Very Hungry Caterpillar should be part of the canon. So I just started my own denomination in my basement, and our canon includes the Very Hungry Caterpillar because I think it'll help evangelize to preschoolers.
Yeah, I was actually reading a Reformed scholastic author earlier today, and his proof for why Scripture explicitly teaches that Matthew is inspired is he said the title says the Gospel according to St. Matthew. He's just like, boom. Therefore, Scripture explicitly teaches that Matthew is part of the canon. So that was based of him. That was really based. Well, okay, I'm not reading that.
My Bible has a table of contents and maps in the back, so that means sola scriptura.
So true. Hey, Zoomer, can we do a Reconquista of oneness
Well,
Pentecostals?
do you know what?
Bernardian monarchism is cringe. We need classical Sabellianism.
Do you know what? I mean, I guess if you're trying to restore it to classical Sabellianism, okay, you can be a more traditional heretic, but no, you should not Reconquista her like a denomination that was founded as heretical, because and Reconquista means you're trying to restore it, and you can't restore a pile of poop into like a statue. You can't restore something into something it never was.
Yeah, what do you I meant to ask you what you thought about orthodoxy and its heretical status, because I think I remember you at one time talking about how you thought that orthodoxy was Pelagian.
I think it's semi-Pelagian.
Mm.
It's not completely Pelagian, but they don't seem to accept the Council of Orange. They seem to kind of disagree with the Council of Orange. I mean, I think this is more of a modern thing, but they tend to be very anti-Augustine. They have a lot of semi-Pelagian tendencies,
Yeah.
especially thinking that infants are innocent. That is explicitly semi-Pelagian. So, yeah, I wouldn't say orthodoxy is heretical, but it's pretty darn close in certain cases.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I've been looking into the history of this, and actually there were two councils held at Carthage under Saint Aurelius of Carthage, which actually Saint Augustine was at. And they both condemned Pelagianism. And Pelagius tried to trick people in Jerusalem. So they translated these two into Greek. It actually appended St. Augustine's On Nature and Grace. And also there was a work from Pope St. Zosimus, which all the bishops were required to sign. And these are like extremely, Augustinian works. And they were sent in like signed by all the Eastern bishops, accepted at the Council of Ephesus. And actually the Council of Trullo, which is like their huge council, these at least the two councils of Carthage were accepted at Trullo as authentic expressions of orthodoxy. So L anti-Augustinians plus ratio.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hassan Hockey Pinecep Kayak RZ r/Catholic dating. Okay, RZ, do you use your r/Catholic dating? Is it good?
Why would I use Catholic dating? First of all, I have a base trad Presbyterian wife already, and second of all,
the combination of those words, man.
Yeah, I
got my
don't think
trad wife, bro. Got my Presbyterian trad wife. I got my based Anglo trad wife.
I don't think the Catholics really want my Jewish Presbyterianism in their gene pool anyway. So.
My patron saint was Jewish, St. John of the Cross. He's a converso.
Was he Calvinist though?
St. John of the Cross. I mean, he had like an extremely, extremely high view of the sovereignty of God and the primacy of divine motion in all supernatural acts. He's like really known for that.
That's basically Calvinism. Good enough.
So true. It struck me so deeply when you compared the Torah with the life of the faithful, creation, tribulation, salvation. I'm crossing a desert in my life right now.
Well, praying for you. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, in my Bible video, I said the Torah parallels the life of a believer. Genesis, we're first created. Exodus, then we're saved. Leviticus, then we're sanctified. Numbers, then we have a lot of wandering in our life. Deuteronomy, in the end, what matters is whether we were faithful to God's covenant. So that's something I thought of. And I'm sure it could apply to people, even if they're not Presbyterian like I am.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is the conquest of Cana is actually a very traditional image used by Catholic spiritual authors, talking about removing the various vices in our soul and such. So, okay, at Wagner Hart, can you bring RZ's female pastor on stream? You don't have a female pastor, right?
No, I don't. My pastor is a male pastor. Now, the moderator of my presbytery she's the lesbian. My presbytery is ridiculously liberal. It's the most liberal presbytery in the country, but my church is the most conservative church in that presbytery. We're the only one in the presbytery that doesn't fly a pride flag, and we're also the only one that's growing and not shrinking. So she's the closest thing we have to a bishop, but she's not a bishop. Presbyterians don't have bishops. She doesn't have any more power than anyone else in the presbytery. She's just like the one who opens the meetings, but they don't do anything there anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, why did you side Presbyterian rather than Episcopalian? Besides, was it simply your your father's PCUSA, and that's kind of, the direction in which you were set at. You didn't really feel like changing.
Well, no, my dad became PCUSA because I did. But
Oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
yeah, but I don't see why why should I be Episcopalian over Presbyterian?
I mean, most would point to like the liturgical tradition, the three orders, and such. They'd point to stuff like that.
Well, when I first started going to church, I didn't study all the denominations. I just knew Presbyterians were the nerdy Christians, and I already had connections to my local Presbyterian church. Later, when I first learned about Calvinism, I didn't like it. I was considering joining other things, but then I learned to like it. Seriously, I was going to talk to my mentor at my Presbyterian church about Calvinism and why I didn't like it. I decided to open my Bible for the first time ever that day, and I randomly turned to Romans 9 on the day I was going to talk about Calvinism. Eventually, I learned to love Calvinism and predestination and all that. So then I was just happy in the Reformed tradition. And the Reformed tradition, the Presbyterian tradition, is a lot more faithful to the Calvinist Reformation than Episcopalianism. I think Episcopalianism is just a random mix of Reformed and Roman Catholic. So a lot of people say, why am I not Episcopalian? I say, why should I be Episcopalian? It's basically just, at best, it's Calvinism with bishops. At worst, it's, just Catholicism, but more gay.
Yeah. So I've never gotten a straight answer on this, but is the PCUSA technically confessional? Like, do they technically have the Westminster Confessions like in their documents? No, obviously, really.
Yes. Oh, yeah. There's a book of confessions. The PCUSA is actually more based in the PCA because they also have the Scots Confession, which explicitly says baptism saves, and the Heidelberg Catechism and the Second Helvetic Confession. And to be an elder in the PCUSA, you have to say you accept the confessions. So it's really just people saying that with their fingers crossed. I mean, I know most of the elders in my church, including my dad, have not actually read the confessions.
Give me a second. My AirPod just connected. Okay, I can hear again. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So I have to go in a few minutes.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'll speed run all of these. RZ, thoughts on the Filioque?
I affirm it. The Filioque is based, and it's really cringe when certain Protestants don't.
So true. Calling out the other Paul. Which has better claims, Catholicism or Orthodoxy?
Catholicism, 100%.
So true. Why the bow tie?
Because Keith Foskey started the idea that Presbyterians wear bow ties, and I have to uphold it.
So true. The only churches near me are Pentecostal and IFB. That is such an error.
I highly doubt that.
Press X to doubt. I mean, what does bro live in? Like, I don't even know where you would live. Like, do you live in the middle of Montana or something in some like crazy town? Okay, more than 109 denominations. Okay, real. I said the number. Okay, whatever. Can you invite Christian B. Wagner on the stream? This is interesting. RZ, if icons violate divine commandment, does that mean our Lord couldn't have taken selfies?
I mean, I believe in providence. I think there's a reason God didn't incarnate into an era when we had pictures.
Interesting. Do you also extend this? Because I understand this is the traditional opinion. Do you extend this to like imagination, internal imagination of images of Christ? Like when you read the Gospels, you don't imagine how Christ would look, right?
I imagine like a figure, but I don't try to imagine the specifics yet, because anything I make would just be me projecting my own ideals onto Jesus.
Okay. RZ, what is worse, monothelitism or Arianism? Why?
Obviously Arianism.
Yeah, okay. RZ, do you have the same God as Muslims?
I mean, we have the same concept of the divine essence as Muslims, but we do not have covenant. Muslims do not have covenant with God like we do. And we agree on what God is, but not who God is. Let's say that.
Okay. RE, miracles in every denomination / equally credulous. What would you say about much stricter scrutiny Catholics applying to miracles, and that Catholic miracles, e.g. Eucharistic, reinforce Catholic beliefs, while prop miracles don't reinforce things like five solas?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of Pentecostal miracles enforce Pentecostalism, so I'm not sure if that's true. I do think it's good the Catholic Church applies a lot of scrutiny to their miracles, though, because Pentecostals will believe anything.
Yeah, I actually, that is the angle. It's weird that you say that, because when I talk to Pentecostals, because they're usually attached to something like this, this is the angle that I go at when I'm speaking with them. I say, hey, look, you like miracles and stuff like that. Like that's something that interests you. Like, hey, we have these, and not only do we have these, but we have like insane levels of scrutiny that we put these through. Like we know that this miracle is true much more than we know that like Ted Bundy, is a serial killer. We're much more strict. Okay, so hey RZ, can you do me a huge favor and say, Mark, just marry her already? My buddy is a huge fan of you and needs some motivation.
Okay, Mark, just marry her already. You have Skibbity Ohio Riz.
Do not be a fake cell. Whatever you do, not listen to her. Do not do it. Fake cell, fake cell, fake cell. That's my message to Mark.
Okay.
He's the angel, and I'm like the little demon on the shoulder. RZ, submit to BKC. Blessed King Charles, God's anointed King of England, died for his church. Cromwell is the wood that fuels the fires of hell. Okay.
What's the next question?
Hey Chris, bro, my name's not Chris. It's Christian. It's Christian. Only Jews change their name. Oh, we actually know a Jewish person who did that. I'm not gonna say who it is because it's kind of a meme. But hey, Christian, the name's Christian. Put some respect on the name, okay? I saw RZ with a strange little Also, RZ should Okay.
My nose is very big, so it's kind of hard.
I have the Aryan nose. Okay, so I am. RZ sounds like Gideon. I don't know why.
You mean Byzantine Scotist?
Yeah, dude.
Maybe I'm the dumb version of him.
Dude, when I talk to both you guys, it's like almost I'm talking to. It's like I could tell I'm talking to two people who are very similar, and it's crazy because you two are like from completely different parts of the country, completely different backgrounds, everything like that.
I am. We have Byzantine Scotist at home.
Yeah, the Byzantine Scotist at home, PC USA.
I'm the Reformed PC USA Scotist. I'm the only supralapsarian in the PC USA.
Really, are you?
No, really Karl Barth was supralapsarian, so basically every PC USA theologian who's like not gay is supralapsarian.
Really? That's odd, strange.
Yeah, it's weird. Karl Barth was supralapsarian, so now it's like everyone in the main line is. Okay,
dude,
who had more?
Oh my goodness, I put disrespect on the name of Karl Barth. I am not a fan at all. How much have I read of Karl Barth? Nothing, by the way, for anybody who's...
I've read quite a bit. Okay, who had more riz between Calvin and Knox? I mean, Calvin had more simping riz because Knox wrote The Monstrous Regiment of Women. And
so true.
He denounced all female leaders, and Calvin told him he was being too sexist. So Calvin had more riz, but it was because he was simping.
So true. Base Knox the second trumpet blast against the Monstrous Regiment of Women. Okay, thoughts on the Shroud of Turin. Okay, you already talked about that.
I'm already said I'm agnostic towards that.
Okay, so that looks like all of the super chats that we got going on here.
I'm gonna head out. It was great talking to you guys all in the chat. Good to talk to you again. Christian, you're still the best Catholic apologist because you know that the medieval scholastics affirmed predestination, so we can go argue about other things. And
so true, RZ. Thank you, I appreciate it.
I'm not giving up YouTube. I'm not going Catholic yet. And yes, and I'm going to be focusing on arguing with liberals as opposed to Catholics. I have a debate with a very liberal gay pastor on my channel coming up on Monday. He's a universalist. He denies the supernatural. So stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys.
I can't wait to be invited for the Minecraft conversion announcement stream when you convert to Catholicism. But thank you, RZ. I'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Okay, I'm gonna stay live, guys. Answer all your questions. I might stay live for a few more minutes. That went well. Good man. Okay, you guys' super chats. Okay, 2 more super chats. Let me go all the way. I'm literally so far up right now. Okay, yeah, 590 viewers, but 32 likes is crazy. Isn't that crazy? Guys? How many of you guys? 578 are here right now. 578 watching. How many likes? 30 likes. Yeah. How many? And I was just looking, guys. I mean, I was being a little bit of an investigator. I was doing some investigating, and I saw that I have I think it was 30,000 regular viewers. So it's like, come on, guys, why aren't you guys subscribing? I a little less than 14,000, a little less than 14,000 subscribers, 30,000 regular viewers. That's crazy. Okay, what are your guys' super chat saying? Oh, 217 likes actually. Yeah. Okay, I got fact checked live. Yo Wagner, yo Wagner, yo Wagner. What's up? Okay. Would RZ ever refer to Reform Judaism, Orthodox? I think the answer is no. RZ, thoughts on C? What is C? Okay, let me see what this is. What does it stand for? Cumulative trauma disorders. Okay, so what is his thoughts about cumulative trauma disorders? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it's for. I'm sure that he has a lot of good thoughts about this. But yeah, I guess okay. Wagner, does your Novus Ordo parish have female Eucharistic ministers? Okay. Let me think. I go between three Novus Ordos. The one that I go to, that the one guy recognized me that one time, that one, I think it rarely, but I've seen it before. And then they have like one female acolyte for some reason. They have like one girl acolyte, and the rest are all men. I mean, the other ones, yeah, they have female Eucharistic ministers. I'm a based Giga Chad, and I just absolutely plow through the crowds. Go straight for the priest. Skip all the lines. That's what I do. RZ is predestined to be Catholic. Yeah, and you're predestined not to be funny. Okay, so we all have to suffer through things, don't we? Okay, did you ever receive communion from a woman? I don't think so. If I go for if it's like case of necessity, like there's no way I'm going to make it to the priest, and I just have to go to a Eucharistic minister. Well, if I don't have to go to the priest, I usually try to find a deacon. If I can't find that, I usually try to find one of the acolytes, and if that doesn't work out, I'll go to a male. Yeah. So where's the best Catholic church in Portland, Oregon? Isn't there like a website for this? Okay, Reverend Catholic Mass, the Reverend Catholic Mass website. Let me check this out. Let's find out what the Reverend Catholic Mass is in Portland, Oregon. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna work on them. We're gonna work on them. Trust the plan. Okay, Portland, Oregon. Trust the plan. We're gonna get RZ. We're gonna get RZ through. Wow, look at that. There's a bunch of them. Okay, wow, Portland's right next to Vancouver. How did I not know this? My American geography sucks. Okay. Yeah, look at this website. It's reverendcatholicmass.com. Look, there's a bunch of them in there. You go to St. Mary's Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Okay. Let me see. I see another one. Why do you debunk predestination and convert him? Well, predestination is a dogma of the Catholic faith. So if I were to debunk predestination, I would be debunking Catholicism, which obviously I'm a Catholic. And since I'm a Catholic, I don't want to debunk Catholicism. Okay. And all of you guys, you better promise tomorrow, the Sola Scriptura video is coming out. So you guys need to watch. You guys need to like. My wife is working on the editing right now. And tomorrow I'll finish off I'll put the finishing touches on the editing. But you guys better watch it. I mean, it's going to be pretty great. I've been working on this forever. I've been cooking forever on this. I've been reading a lot of different Catholic sources. And what I basically found out is that the normie Catholic approach to debunking Sola Scriptura is very slightly different than the traditional one, but the slight difference actually makes, in the end, like a world of difference between something that's very unconvincing and fallacious, to be honest, to something that's an extremely convincing, solid, airtight, scientific proof that Sola Scriptura is wrong. So, I mean, I hope you guys are excited for that. I was reading this in Franzlin. I was reading this in Pesch. I was reading this in a lot of our traditional authors. So you guys need to get excited for that. Wife done editing. Is your wife UI? No, Unius Initiative is not editing this one. So no, Unius Initiative is not my wife. Sorry about that. It's not the case. Okay, yeah, wife is working. Oh no, I didn't mean. I meant she's working on that in like a colloquial way. My wife doesn't have a job. She doesn't have a job. She just takes all of your super chat money and spends it on things like, I don't know, diapers and stuff. I don't know what they buy. I don't know what women buy. Women buy like diapers and like food and stuff. I don't freaking know. Nope, no job. Yeah, resubscribing. Thank you. Nearest parish to me on the Reverend Mass site is 40-minute drive away. It's Joe. 40 minutes is not that far, bro. Especially you don't have kids. I mean, I'm assuming you don't have kids. Maybe you do have kids. But if you don't have kids, 40 minutes is nothing. I mean, it's like a 40-minute drive when you don't have any kids. I mean, I have to take, like an extra half hour just because I have kids to get ready before Mass. I mean, when you put in that perspective and then you got to wrestle them throughout the entirety of Mass, I mean, 40-minute drive is nothing. 40-minute drive is absolutely nothing. Okay, what do we got here? Hey, Chris, stop. It's not Chris. It's Christian, okay? It's like, I heard... have you guys ever seen the Chris Chan clip? The Chris Chan. It's not... did Chris Chan actually say it's not Chris, it's Christian? Is that the exact thing that he said? Did I accidentally just say that? Okay, but anyways, hey, Chris, if you had a choice between a Novus Ordo parish with female Eucharistic ministers and guitars in an SSPX chapel, which one would you go to? I don't know. I guess it would depend on a lot of factors. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Dude, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm not picky with my masses. I mean, I go to Mass, I go to confession, I receive the Eucharist, do all that stuff. I'm just a normal guy. I mean, I just go to Mass, okay? I mean, I just go to the Mass that, Pope Francis says, okay? I'm just a normal guy. Let's go to normal Masses, okay? Not special, I'm not hyper nuanced. I don't build, a Byzantine, I don't build a Byzantine chapel in my garage or something like that. I don't do that. I don't build an ordinariate chapel in my pole barn. Yeah, I have a pole barn and it's really cool and I love it. I can like drive my car in when I work on it. But I don't do stuff. I mean, I just go to Mass, okay? I'm just a normal guy. I just go to Mass. Okay. So Wagner, if a Euro country, I haven't read this before. So if this is a bad question, I'm live reading it right now. Wagner, if a Euro country announced they were formerly a Catholic nation, which a nuncio and they hold to all the traditions of the church that you would find importance, would you ever think about going? I mean, if there was a European heritage nation with a sort of integralist government, of course I would go, bro. Of course I would go. Of course, I'd take the plane ticket right now, man. I would take all my money, put it in like a Swiss bank or something. I would renounce my U.S. citizenship and I'd fly right over right away. I'd be zooming in the air, before we could even finish this. Of course I would go. Of course. I mean, the stuff that I have to suffer now, being in the area I'm in, I mean, I can't talk about it much. I don't want to get taken off of YouTube, but it's like the stuff that I have to suffer, just living in a society like this, you go to the Walmart and, there's certain types of individuals, who are hoodlums, being hoodlums, doing hoodlum things, in my based trad Catholic, integralist society where I get to go there and, if you steal, you just get thrown in jail and, they'll catch everyone. They'll put cameras everywhere. So if you do anything bad, they'll like AI facial recognition. They'll catch you and they'll just like throw you off. Of course I would go. Like, what kind of question is this? Of course I would go, man. I would learn whatever language. I don't care what language it is. Like, name a language, I would learn it. Like, I'd learn Hebrew for this. And I mean, I hated Hebrew when I had to study it. It was terrible. I mean, I'd learn any language if, that I could move to that place. Of course I would. Okay, bros complained about a 40-minute drive when Christ was in the desert for 40 days. So true. So true. That is so true, Big Steve. And thank you for the member for 12 months. I appreciate it. appreciate it. Members, being a member, it's a good deal. I mean, you get you get a weekly video. I mean, I put out a weekly video just for members. They've been pretty popular. Send in videos that I can review. I mean, I've been reviewing debates recently, like old Catholic Protestant debates, and a lot of people find it helpful. They say it's pretty cool to watch what I have to say about these arguments that are being presented, because I think I'm pretty fair about what I think about Catholics versus Protestants. So you should become a member. Anybody below you should become a member. Okay, so https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/a._c._cotter. Okay, thank you for that. When will you debate Jordan Cooper or Gavin Ortland? I'm kind of on their naughty list right now. Jordan Cooper and Gavin Ortland have both expressly said that they don't like me. I mean, I think, yeah, I say some things, I'm funny guy, I say some things, I say some things, I might be a little spicy here and there, but I don't think there's any reason like to just say like, oh, I'm not interacting with this pleb over here. Like, come on, man, just be chill. These guys have absolutely no chill. I mean, if I was in a room with them for 20 minutes, I could make them like me. Like, I could absolutely make them like me. I don't know why these guys have so little chill that they just like anytime they acknowledge my existence, they're like, I don't like the guy. I don't like the guy. Jordan Cooper's like Wagner converted, and then he thought he was like the expert on scholasticism. Like, like he thinks he's smarter than Ed Fazer. Like, that was Jordan Cooper's thing. He's like, oh, Ed Fazer, like he thinks he's smarter than Ed Fazer. Like, oy vey. And Gavin Ortland's thing. Well, what was Gavin Ortland? Oh yeah, Wagner's not published. He doesn't have any academic qualification, which isn't true. He doesn't have any academic qualifications, Wagner. I have a PhD, and a Catholic said something nice about one of my books one time. So Wagner, you can sit down and shut up, okay? Sit down and shut up. A real PhD from a Baptist seminary, a real PhD guy is talking. Sit down and shut up, you degreeless pleb. You degreeless pleb. And the thing that's in common with both of these guys, I mean, yeah, I'd say both of them are a heck of a lot better than most the Protestants out there. Like, I'll give them that. You guys are a heck of a lot better. I mean, I think Cooper is definitely better than Ortland. Like, I would definitely say Jordan Cooper's 1,000,000% better than Ortland. But the thing that they have in common, nice guys, they really get mad if you don't call them doctor. That's what Jordan Cooper lost his mind. It was an accident when I first called him Mr. Cooper rather than Dr. Cooper. I was like, hey, look here, Mr. Cooper. And I called him Mr. Cooper rather than Dr. Cooper. And he just like lost it. I mean, the guy like lashed out at you. And that's the thing that they both have in common. I mean, they put Dr. Gavin Ortland, PhD, Dr. Jordan Cooper, PhD. I mean, come on now. If I ever got a PhD, you guys wouldn't even know about it, unless some situation like this came up. I mean, I would never talk about it, because who the frick cares? I mean, why do you guys care if I have a PhD or not? You guys don't listen to me because of my academic qualifications. That's not why you guys listen to me. So who cares? Nobody cares. Okay. Anyways, Unbaptized was starting OCIA next week. Any tips for how to discuss the faith to my devout, non-denom Protestant dad or my ex-Catholic mom? Okay, I mean, your parents know you very well. Your parents, have known you since you were obviously a little baby in diapers. That's something that you just have to realize. I mean, they've known you, for every single stage of your life. They've seen your development throughout all of those different stages. So coming from that perspective, it is extremely difficult for you to go and try to apologetically defend the Catholic faith to your parents. So basically what I found to be the best method, and I mean, I got this from St. Peter Faber when I was reading what he said about converting Lutherans, or Protestants, he just called them Lutherans, but Protestants to the Catholic faith, is basically what you have to do is you just have to express within yourself throughout your day-to-day life. They have to know, obviously, like they know you're Catholic, whatever. That's like something that's clear about the relationship. They know that you're Catholic, and they know that you probably want them to be Catholic. You definitely want them to be Catholic, but express the effects of grace in your life. And therefore you yourself become a motive of credibility for the Catholic faith. They see that grace has changed you, and they see that in these various ways, the sacramental life of the church, the various moral teachings of the church, these have completely transformed you into a completely new individual. And be ready at those various times when it happens. I mean, it just happens if they know that you're Catholic, and if that's sort of the point of contention. Those moments when they do ask questions, and eventually, I mean, they will. That's just kind of how things go. I mean, most of my family members, I think with the exception of obviously the ones I don't really talk to, but maybe like one, almost every single one of them, sometime, someplace, there's always the topic of Catholicism that eventually just gets brought forward, and make sure you're ready to answer adequately the questions that they give. Or maybe, what we kind of were talking about with RZ earlier, but if you realize that you're just not up to the task, don't try to just go out there and make something up. Don't do that. Don't try to go out there and give it your best shot. That's a bad idea. Don't give it your best shot. Go on and find a resource. Ask people that you know and trust, who are experienced in the Catholic faith, and ask them for resources and say, hey, my mom was asking about Mary and I didn't know how to answer it. An article that would be like good for her to read, like a book or a podcast or a YouTube video that a woman like her, would be able to understand well and get over her misconceptions. So yeah, that's really what you're supposed to do. Don't go and be like base trad conquistador crusader 52 and like yell at your mom or something like that. If you yell at your mom, I'm going to block you. Okay, Mr. Cooper, that's funny. Hey Chris, yeah, shut up, I don't like you. Does RZ's last name end with Berger or Stein? Also thoughts on Freemason. Okay, yeah. This is troll, pure troll. Okay, this is a troll. Hey Wagner, any tips on how to debunk Arianism? Recently had a debate with a member of an Arian sect. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Basically, what they're going to do is they're going to completely stretch the likely meaning of words, because what Arians and a lot of heretics get by on is they will show that a word, phrase, or judgment could somehow be technically taken in a certain sense, and it might be improbable, but since it technically could be taken in this sense, I mean, this is the sense that they're going to obviously take it in. It's not any sort of effort to harmonize the unclear teachings of Scripture with the clear teachings of Scripture. It's simply trying to win by technicality is what they're doing, due to some sort of perceived issue that they have with the doctrine that they're attempting to inculcate. So the best place to go is going to be Luke chapter 1 and 2. I love Luke chapter 1 and 2. You look through how our Lord is being referred to in relation to Old Testament prophecies. It's very clear that he's being given the tetragrammaton, the divine name, which indisputably is referred to as Christ. I did a whole video on this. If you look up Trinity, Bible, blah, 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 Scripture, whatever, Christian B. Wagner's Classic Answer, you'll probably find it. Okay. Hey, Christian B. Fatner. How did you meet your wife did you meet your wife on r/Catholic dating asking for M? No, I didn't. Is it possible? It is possible. I did OCIA and joined the ministry. My Protestant mom is now starting an OCIA, and it was bearing witness and bringing her to mass. That's just such a massive W. I love to hear it when people join the Catholic faith. It's just it's great. I mean, it's a W. I hate when I see apostasy though. When I see apostasy, it just like I can heretics and stuff I'll deal with. Somebody like RZ, obviously, I think he's heretical. I mean, he's not a Catholic. Somebody like the other Paul, I'm friends with these guys, whatever. But then there's people who are apostates who, for a time joined the Catholic Church and then ended up leaving it. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a good relationship with an apostate. Never. I don't think ever. Yeah, r/Anglican dating. Thoughts on Gennadius Scalarius? Scalarius, the only stuff that I've read from him were his uh, two treatises on the Filioque. I mean, I haven't really read much else from him, so I don't want to hastily make comments about Scalarius without having a bunch of knowledge about his life and the full extent of his works. I don't think that'd be fair. Okay. Okay. r/Anglican dating. So is r/Anglican dating a thing? Is that a thing, guys? I should start r/Anglican dating and then make it the worst experience ever. Okay. So nope. No r/Anglican dating. Okay. If there's not an r/blank dating, then it's probably a false religion. Okay. Definitely a false religion. Okay. Let's look up r/Orthodox dating. Okay. Oh, there is 74 members. There's r/Orthodox women. Oh man, I guarantee this is an absolute coal mine. Okay, yeah. Opened up r/Catholic Orthodox women. It's already a coal mine. Okay, that was bad. That was bad. Okay, I shouldn't have opened that. Man, guys, do not open that because the top post is pretty bad. Okay, anyways. Who's typing for you and what's your middle name? I don't know who's typing for me right now. Probably Unius Initiative, which you guys should follow Unius Initiative on YouTube. He's got great videos. Great guy. Mr. Chris, yeah, shut up and die. Will you debate Muslim D. Wagner? Yes, I will. Okay, thoughts on the Reverend Anthony Charles Cotter, SJSTD. Based, red-pilled, and amazing. And I love him. He's great. Okay, your wife should replace UI forever. Is that Lexi? Is it Lexi or is it you? Is it who is it? Who is it? Are you tired of making my thumbnails in this initiative? Stop. Anybody who says Chris, I'm gonna ban. Okay, this is your last chance. Oh wait, no, I'm way far back. Okay, best way to start reading, understanding the Summa. Thanks for the work you do. You and the Church Fathers were very influential in me converting. Love you, man. You're gonna make it. Okay, so best resource. I recommend this to everyone. He's amazing. I love him so much. Okay, let me pop it up. I love him so much. He's my favorite. I just did a video on his life. I just love him so much. But the introduction to the Summa Theologiae of St. Thomas Aquinas. Yeah, and whoever did this title and didn't put Saint in front of that, yeah, I want their head on a platter. Yeah, I want it brought to me immediately. But it's by John of St. Thomas, and it's an amazing work. I mean, it really shows the logic of all of the different parts and articles and such of the Summa. It's really truly a spectacular work. I use it all the time. I mean, anytime I read the Summa, I use it to make sure, because a big issue people have when they're reading the Summa is they kind of miss the forest for the trees. They're investigating individual articles, but they're not really understanding how they're fitting into the larger picture. Okay, what's your middle name? I'm not telling you my middle name. I'm not telling you my middle name. No, you're not finding it out, because if you find out, no, you're not finding out. There's nothing you guys can do to get this one out of me. Christian, send me a link. Why do you want a link? Okay, why do you want a link, Hassan? Should I invite Hassan? Should I invite Hassan? Wow, amazing. Wow, that's amazing. What do you say, Hassan? Oh my gosh. Okay, whatever. I'll give you the link, you monkey. Wait, you don't know about the John of St. Thomas book on the Summa? Dude, I talk about this all the time. Yeah, lol on the $100 super chat still being up. Okay, whatever. I'll invite Hassan. If I get bored after like 5 minutes, I'm going to get rid of him. UI has been banished to the lower parts of the step. Okay, that's interesting. So it is Lexi. So it isn't you. It is my wife. Okay. Okay, yeah. Hey, yeah, real funny, guys. This is a funny guy right here. He's a funny guy. He's so funny. He's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, you're getting banned. You're getting banned. Hello. Oh my gosh, you're such a monkey. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're muted. I can't hear you, you monkey. Yeah, I hope Lexi can read. Unfortunately, Lexi can read. It's actually Christian Banez Wagner. That's true. Okay, we're just gonna put him like that. Okay, he's gone. Good. I'm glad that he's gone. Okay. Is Shaban one of our best sources to debunking sola scriptura? Um, I mean, if you're talking about English, I would say that the cumulative explanations that he provides, yeah, but it takes a lot of attention, a lot of brain power, to push through, for sure. Okay, what are all of these random super chats that are being sent in now? Okay. Uh, Wagner, love the answer. Last question. If you created a Catholic Daily Wire, would Trent and Aiken be involved, or would the differences be too significant? What do you mean, Catholic Daily Wire? Is Israel offering? is Israel offering? Or are you from Mossad? I mean, I will accept. I will accept. Trent and Aiken. I mean, Aiken. No, I don't. No, definitely not Aiken. Our differences are way too significant. I don't know. I like Trent. I like Trent for sure. Okay. Dr. Christian, I'm sorry for what I said about RZ and his people. I actually super gemmy and a true cell. How I get trad pill, super sweetie pie, parish femoid. Um, how do you get a okay, let me think. How do you get a trad pill, super sweetie pie, parish femoid? Step one, don't be a fake cell. Yeah, that's the rule. Look, if you're a fake cell, you're gonna achieve nothing in this world. Okay, like let's just be honest. If you're a fake cell, I mean, you have so much time in your day that you're just wasting. Like if you're a true cell, you have the time to listen to my streams. I mean, you have time to listen to my streams. You have time to give super chats. I mean, but if you were married, I mean, the woman would just be like, "Give me money, give me money, give me money," and then the woman would be like, "Give me time, give me attention, give me time, give me attention," and then you'd have no time, no attention, no money to be able to watch my streams and to super chat. I mean, that'd be crazy if you weren't able to do that. Okay, the bald man is back. How's it doing, Mr. Bald Man? Are you mewing? You're still silent. Did I do something to you? Let me check your mic settings. Nope, your mic settings are fine. Do I have this muted or something? Can you guys hear him? Okay. Hey, Hindu B. Wagner. I have an irreligious friend that believes in God but doesn't know what religion to follow. He has been reading scripture recently but doesn't know how to interpret Genesis and if slash what part are allegories. Any recommendations? I can hear you, I think. Say something. You monkey, say something. He's mewing. He's mewing. Can you hear Hassan? What do you have your phone? Why do you have 3 cameras on your phone? Okay, whatever. We're gonna wait for Hassan to get the Genesis question because Hassan knows all the resources on the Genesis question. Okay, what did he say? Did he say something on Discord? No, he didn't. He didn't. Read kayak super chat. Okay. Hello?
Hello, this was the only way I could think of to solve the problem.
You're on your phone?
Yeah, 1 second, let me put my headphones on.
Bro's mewing right now. Stop giving money to Chris Banez Wagner. Okay, thank you for the super chat. It's Christian W Wagner. So true. I'm trying to get rid of these super chats. Hassan isn't Haitian, is he? I don't want him eating money. Does he look Haitian to you? Does he sound Haitian to you?
He isn't Haitian. I don't
Okay,
want to
ban
name my
Antonio.
cat. Very interesting.
Okay, can you ban Antonio?
Wait, hold
You're
on. How
Sicilian.
do I find it?
What do you mean? How do you find it?
No, let me go and find them on the stream. Hold on.
You have a cat? Are you gonna eat it? No, I hate cats, dude. You better not bring your cat or I'm gonna ban you.
Cats are terrible.
Whoever gives me more money, I will
They
ban.
make so much. I like cats, but I wouldn't want one in my house because I don't want fluff everywhere.
Okay, Mr. Chris Bedford Forrest. Thoughts on Father Hardin? Father Hardin's he's pretty good. I mean, the one thing on like sexual ethics that we found was kind of weird. Remember that, Hassan?
What was that?
The thing from Father Hardin on sexual ethics. You remember how weird that was?
Uh, it's just the era. Almost nobody believed different to him in his time, or the correct view, I should say. They all had different views, but very few people held the correct view.
So real. Okay, so this question, the one I wanted to ask you about, are there actually any like good like systematic resources on Genesis, like one-stop shop stuff?
Um, why would he need? Okay, first of all, like why would he need to do this? Because if he knows that the church like allows a variety of views, why would this be like a problem for him?
He's just curious, bro. His friend is just a
Oh,
curious.
okay. I thought it was like an apologetics issue. Okay, so if he's curious to understand Genesis, he should just read some of the patristic stuff. Also, like which parts are allegories. He should just read St. Augustine, St. Augustine's commentaries on Genesis, because that explains very clearly like why it should be seen as angelic knowledge. Um, and why the human author can be interpreted as intending to teach that. Um, there's also a Vatican document, a PBC document on stewardship of creation, unless it's ITC, I don't remember. That's a useful one. I think it's ITC actually. And then there's uh, what else? I'm trying to remember any like really good modern Genesis commentaries, but to be honest, um, all of them are good for different things. So you're not going to find a good commentary on the Hexameron in the same text that's trying to focus on the patriarchal narratives and stuff like that. So I don't know.
A great answer, Hassan. Very informative.
Okay.
Okay, so how many people? I will answer the super chats, but how many people have asked you if you have cancer, Hassan?
Nobody, but when I was really sick and I was like slightly like emaciated and I shaved my head before, then like my brother made a comment that I looked like I was going through chemo, which was funny, but
Nice.
also quite bad.
Nice.
Uh,
The Novus Ordo is scandalous. Yeah, you're gay. How about that? Thought about that? Okay. WAG, diff, by the way, remote and proximate occasion of sim. Well, the difference is basically whether as a moral law being placed within such a circumstance will lead to such a sin being commissioned versus what's like a remote occasion of sin is that there's merely some sort of like physical potency. So it'd be the difference between, and this can actually differ from individual to individual, like an alcoholic, for example, like as a sort of general moral law, alcoholics around alcohol commit sins, it's extraordinary if they don't commit sins. But on the other hand, somebody who's just a normal guy goes to a bar, it's not gonna, there's nothing in the sort of individual which would especially make it a general law that he would commit such a sin, to put it like that. So, yeah, I guess that's just but it's not out of it's people like that do commit the sin though. So it's possible still. That's my formula.
There's a really good explanation of this in Father Slater's book. Have you seen it?
No.
Yeah, so it's on Archive for anybody who wants to read it for free. Archive.org. Father Thomas Slater, Manual of Moral Theology for English-speaking countries. That's what it's called. And then there you can control F, just look for the word proximate or look for the word occasion and just look through the entries. He has like 3 different places in the book where he talks about near and remote occasions really well and explains the distinctions
Yeah. Okay.
and all the stuff that apply to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So close enough. Go to r/Catholic dating. No, I'm not gonna go to r/Catholic dating.
What's the
but
meme? What's the meme behind this? Why do they want you to do that?
Okay. Because it's such like a massive coal mine. Okay. I will. Hassan needs to be red pill. We got to find something really bad on r/Catholic dating. Okay. Okay. r/Catholic.
I know that it's really bad. But
22,000 members. Okay. When to say I love you. I've been texting this girl for 1.5 weeks now. We've been texting almost constantly and have had a collective 6 hours of talking on the phone the past 2 days. Yeah, okay.
yeah, this guy needs to disengage. That's unhealthy.
That's like me and Hassan's daily average right there. You know.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. That's
oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Need advice about dating. Okay, whatever. Women only. Would you marry a man who you weren't sexually attracted to, but checked every other box? That's crazy. 1/4 said yes. Oh man, 1/4 said yes.
Yeah, 1/4 said yes because they thought that was the thing you're supposed to say.
Okay. Change in dating fortune. Okay, blah blah blah. We don't care about your long stories. Is it unreasonable to pursue? Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So this guy is not
Yes.
even Catholic. He's asking. Dude, the guy's like, I'm not Catholic. I just want to date a Catholic woman. Is it wrong? Where do you even find this Reddit? Dude, this guy must be getting downvoted into oblivion. 27 comments. Yeah, I'm downvoting him. Boom.
He literally says in there that he became interested in Catholicism because of her, but then it didn't work out, so he gave up.
Disparity of cult. So bro knows what disparity of cult is. That's crazy. Okay, how much time is okay? Yeah, I don't care about that. Why do you want kids? Why do you want kids? Fear, stress, and frustration. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna die. Update.
I can't look at any more. I can't look at any more of this.
Update. Wasn't able to approach girl, and I hope I didn't do anything creepy, but I'll have another opportunity next week. I know girls my age like guys clean shaven. So true. So we have a base Latin Chad right here. We have a base. So he shaved his beard for this woman. That's crazy.
My grandfather once said that a man who shaves his beard for a woman deserves neither the beard nor the woman.
Really? That's
yeah.
I shave it for the Catholic faith. What does that mean?
That's fine. You have a good reason.
So true.
Yeah, but doing that for a woman is just terrible.
Like an absolute gorilla, like Hassan. Like, what if I did that?
Yeah,
like, you
really.
guys obviously wouldn't take anything I say seriously. Like, I wouldn't be able to get through to you guys.
Yeah.
Not at all. Okay, let me. Older Catholics, where are you meeting people? 25M. Okay, he's done. He's done. It's yeah, 35M. You're kind of screwed, bro. I'm sorry to tell you this. Okay, I was gonna troll a little bit. Girlfriend doesn't want to wake up until marriage. A Nigerian wedding. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be. She wanted.
He broke up with her. He
Nigerian
broke up with her. Look, right at the beginning, he says he broke up with her.
Breakup. So I did break up with her, but that wasn't the only reason why. She would always be late to our dates. Okay, you're dealing with a Nigerian woman, so I'm sure that's. I'm sure it's a common experience.
Yeah.
Okay, well, do we have the same God as Muslims, and what is the correct reading of CCC 841? I'll answer this one real quick.
Man, okay.
I'll just answer it pretty quick. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, we do. Okay. Is that good enough? It's called Natural Theology, defined at Vatican I. Basically, all that Vatican II says is, hey, not only do you know this God from creation, but when you make acts of the will towards this God, you're actually making them towards God. And ordinarily, this is the sin of superstition, not idolatry, because superstition is the improper worship of the true God, whereas idolatry is the worship of something that's not God. Okay, does that sound good?
What about, well, usually people want to point to the fact that there's two kinds of Muslims related on this question, right? There's, Muslims who actually worship God and Muslims who worship something they think is God, like St. Thomas says about the Samaritan woman. How about that?
Yeah, but I mean, you could make the same distinction with Jews and Christians as well.
Oh yeah, I actually think that there are like I actually think that if a Protestant has like that serious of an error, then they're not Christian. I don't know what you think of that.
Well, I think if a Muslim doesn't have that serious of an error, I don't think he's a Muslim.
I happen to agree, but a lot of people don't.
We're actually Muslims, guys. Salam alaikum.
Yeah. Christian B. Wagner announces his first act of takfir against the corporealists. Yeah, Christian B. Wagner, Jake the Muslim metaphysician is not a Muslim.
Oh, wait, I heard. Okay, so I heard this about Jake. I heard some like crazy lore that apparently there's Muslims who think that you can't live in the kufr. Is it kufr? The land of the kufr, like you can't live in there. So Jake the Muslim metaphysician literally moved to Morocco, so he wouldn't be in America because America is the land of the infidel. Is that like true at all?
I don't know.
R/Catholic dating is 22,000 members, consisting of 21,992 men. Okay, that's so true. Hey Wagner, I don't know if I said this before, but it's me, Altar Soldier, crusading to failure. How's it going, man? I still see your stories when I go on Instagram. Change name to Flex Cathedra. When are you coming back to Instagram? I'm occasionally on Instagram. Usually, it's when I'm like super sleepy mode and I don't feel like I'm sleep maxing. I'm tired and I don't feel like doing anything else. So I just go and I scroll into the memes and I laugh at them and I send like 50,000 reels. But I usually don't check like Instagram DMs or anything like that. Yeah, this guy knew me when I was Anglican, actually, way back. Okay, Christian, from your view or the scholastic view, for an unmarried man, would you recommend a religious/priest or a married life? Which is the best path to take? If it is marriage, the best reason for it, like moral/passions. The best path to take when it comes to choosing between the religious life and choosing between married life is whatever your vocation is. Okay, vocation,
so true.
To call, so whatever you're called to. So what you need to do is you need to find yourself a Jesuit, a good Jesuit, and they will. Okay, where's my copy of the spiritual exercise? Okay, yeah, I'm a fake Ignatian right now. Oh, they're out in the living room because I was using them. Spiritual exercises in there. There's something about the discernment of spirits. It's basically a guide to making decisions in light of eternity. So Jesuit will be able to tell you all about that, tell you, okay, this is how you discern from all these different situations, how best to serve God. And on the basis of that, you'll be able to make a decision. But if you do not have perfect continence, then the religious life is not for you. Okay. What does the CCC and Evangelium Gaudium mean when it says God's covenant with the Jews is still valid and has never been revoked? Well, there's certain aspects of promises, like St. Paul talks about in Romans 10, that are still perpetually valid for the Jewish people. I mean, basically what St. Paul says, and this is the main one that gets pointed to. I mean, basically the God's covenant with the Jews is still perpetually valid insofar as they will convert to the Catholic faith before the second coming of Christ. So that's what it means. It doesn't mean anything about the fact that you could somehow be saved through the old covenant. This is explicitly rejected in Dominus Jesus. It's not something that's acceptable to hold to as a Catholic. Any thoughts, Hassan? Unless it's boring, then I don't want your thoughts. Do a show with
Kinda
Sam
boring.
Shamoon on.
No,
No? Okay.
no.
Um,
We're trying to create an alternative discourse here. I don't really want anything to do with the standard discourse.
Okay, when my main Instagram page, not CTF, gets to 30,000, hopefully in a few months, we should do a collab. I have a ton of people that would love your content. Yeah, bro, I would love to do a collab. I'm totally up to doing a collab. Up to it.
Hmm.
I think it was actually you, Mr. Crusading to Failure, that actually first influenced me to start lifting back in the day. I stopped lifting about a little over a year ago. I think it was right after my daughter was born. But I'm about to get back into it, actually. Okay. But it's nice to hear from you. Christian, mind telling me what you're wearing? I'm wearing a black t-shirt that I got off of Amazon. It's a black t-shirt. I know I hate that I started noticing, I'd wear the black t-shirt around, and I started noticing, all of these different individuals who started wearing black t-shirts. I don't know if I was influenced by them, or if it was just happened to be, maybe I influenced the whole industry of black shirt. I'm joking. I don't know if it was just happened to be a coincidence or something like that. But all of a sudden I noticed all these people wearing black t-shirts, and I'm like, wow, they look, terrible in their black t-shirts. So maybe I need to update the style and throw away the black t-shirt streams forever. Maybe that's only like a chill stream sort of thing. I need to throw it away forever, and I need to start dressing differently on stream. My mom completely debunked me. She utterly obliterated me when I went to go record something, and I was wearing I was going to stream, and I was wearing a black t-shirt. And my mom was like, "You're dressing like that on stream?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And she's like, "You need to care more about how your presentation to people." I'm like, "You're right, Mom. You're right. I definitely should be dressing better for stream." All these guys out there listening to me right now while you're in sleepy bed, while you're sleep maxing like Hassan was, all of them, they would listen to me much more vehemently if I was wearing better clothing, for sure. Okay, let me see. Wagner belt size is funny. You're funny. I actually have my lifting belt in there. Oh, you were asking about the blanket? Yeah, this is my blanket. Yeah, where's the leopard, the cheetah print blanket, Hassan? Where's the infamous cheetah print blanket? It's almost wintertime.
It's not gonna come back until it gets cold enough.
Oh my gosh.
What? What's the problem?
Bro.
What's that for? What's the oh my gosh for?
Christian, is sleeping on your stomach effeminate along with sleeping in a bed? Yeah, actually, you need to sleep on your side on the floor.
I don't really understand why, but some of the saints say that sleeping on your stomach leads to lust. I don't really get that, but that's what they say.
Based.
I don't get it.
Wagner, we need a stream of you responding to Turretinal justification or merit. Unfortunately, probably nobody would watch that. But I mean, if I did do basically what I do, like for example, I did my Sola Scriptura stream, and my Sola Scriptura video, which is coming out tomorrow, and I actually incorporated a lot of what Pareus says in there, which, you know, the Reformed scholastic guy. I brought in a lot of what he said throughout the stream. But I mean, if I just said like responding to Pareus on scripture, like nobody's going to watch that. But I mean, if I did something on, you know, merit or on justification, and I implicitly brought forward what they're saying, or, you know, even quoted them throughout the video to directly respond to them, I mean, that would be fine. But I always do that. I always do that. But, oh my God. Okay, Hassan, it's been explained for you.
Why on earth would he confess that that's exactly what he's going through? That guy is absolute. It's over for that dude.
Yeah, you know what's worse than r/Catholic dating? I went on r/Orthodox women, and yeah, it was terrible. r/Orthodox women.
Oh no. Oh,
yeah,
no.
there was something like right when I opened it up, there was something extremely venereal that they were talking about, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna.
To be fair, Catholic women aren't that much better.
Yeah, what is it? What is the r/Catholic women? Is that a thing? Okay, this is about to.
Please don't.
No, nope,
No.
Yep. Too late.
Yeah, watch now as there's an entire thread about like your video about religious hippie. That would be so funny.
So true. Okay, where is r/Catholic women? Okay, let me see. Okay, let me pop it up real quick. This is about to be so great. It's about to be so amazing. Okay, yeah. Talking about NFP, yeah, that's pretty. Increase in traffic and aggressive commentators. Yep, that's us, boys. That's us. We are the aggressive commentators. Wagner, do you hate on Chesterton because you want to be as skinny as him? Okay, that was kind of funny. Can you let me and Fermion on your stream? Can you let me and Fermion on your stream? Okay, whatever. I'll let you guys on the stream.
What are they going to talk about?
Kayak spent $2 on a super chat and I didn't read it because it was about like tranny trad wives or something like that.
Oh, come on, Kayak.
Okay, I've seen many pictures of Christian with monster energy. I've heard John Doyle talk about stimulants like tobacco and how it's based for increasing focus. What's your opinion?
What's this guy doing now? Oh, he's counting his monster energies. Yeah, I get addicted to caffeine very easily, so I'm trying to take it easy and just have 1 or 2 cups of coffee a day.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know about the nicotine increasing focus thing. I don't know about that claim. Yeah, what else do I got? I got my crab. Got my crab on my desk. Yeah, I'm so proud of my crab. Look at this, guys. It's my record Maryland blue crab.
What is that?
It's a blue crab. It's like the top shell, you know, when you're done eating it, and you put some like of the shellac on there, you know, make it all nice and shiny. Blue crab.
Cool.
Blue crab. Okay, Kayak is on now.
Hello, Kayak.
All right. We just gotta wait for Fermion to join.
Okay. So r/Catholic women. Okay.
Oh wait, are you doing the Catholic dating?
Christian life coach. What? No, this is just well, I mean, I could do r/Catholic dating. We did it for a few minutes and it was terrible. The worst was
r/horrific.
Are you gonna?
That was rough.
Wait, are you gonna create a Reddit account and then post to the?
He has one.
I already have a Reddit account. And
okay, are you gonna post to the server to the subreddit on stream?
What you should do is you should find the r/Catholic women one and then post your video on it.
Yes. No, post
religious hippies video. Yeah.
I don't know what this. Super Saiyan. Oh, Super Saiyan. Yeah, Unity Initiative told me about this. He's told me about this. Okay, so Christian life coach. Heck of a time convincing my fiance that I need to have a Catholic wedding. Where in
Yeah,
scripture
horrible.
does he have to get
I
married
just
in the
read
Catholic
that.
Church? Oh my gosh. The opinion on anti-Mary exposed. Okay, whatever. My boyfriend and I decided to go on a break, and I feel heartbroken. Okay.
A break.
I'm very passionate
What?
about being
When will they learn? When will they learn? There are no breaks.
Yo, I morally oppose abortion, but I'm otherwise politically left-leaning. I'm very passionate about being an ally to our LGBTQ RST brothers in Christ. I want to marry a man for a plethora of reasons. I do experience SSA myself. Despite entertaining converting to Episcopalianism, exploring avenues of Catholicism like the Jesuit / Ignatian spirituality, mysticism, and liberation theology have kept me in the church. Oh no!
Wait, Christian. Wait, do you support that?
I mean, technically speaking, I love Ignatian spirituality, mysticism, and there's certain forms
You
of
just
liberation.
you just know she's one of these women that's turning up to the Ignatian yoga classes or something, bro.
Dude,
I actually, Matthew from Notre Dame, he actually showed me once that, I think it was him. He showed me that there was like a poster up about somebody who was offering Ignatian yoga sessions. Like that was a thing.
can we have
But
some
no, it
Ignatian?
wasn't Notre Dame. He's from Loyola, my bad. I'm an idiot.
We do some Ignatian lifting sessions.
Loyola. Ignatian
Can I-
lifting sounds amazing.
Yeah, let's do some Ignatian lifting at our local gym. How about that?
Yo, we got
That
Fermi in
sounds
here.
awesome.
Oh no, they've gone you Hassan now. When is Hassan gonna stop gaining weight? Oh, it's so over.
Bro, I've literally been losing weight at an unhealthy pace for the last 2 weeks.
Oh man, yeah, that's the same thing with me. Like they literally never called me fat until I had lost like.
And you started losing weight, and they called you fat.
30 pounds now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
And now they're calling me fat. That's crazy. Maybe they felt bad
Christian.
to call me fat if I was actually fat. And now that I'm less fat, they're like, okay, now we're at like a comfortable.
Christian, I think
range
you should
to call
pull
me fat.
a Nikocado avocado and then just post old videos of you for like a while, and then like lose some weight, and then just do a face reveal of you after you lost the weight.
Yeah, just Mog, just absolutely Mew and Mog everyone. Yeah, I should. Those are good in-law relationships. Okay. Advice on a new relationship. Don't care. Why? What? Like, is this all women talk about? This isn't even the r/Catholic dating one. This is the r/Catholic women, and every single question has been about relationships. Is this all women care about? Like, we need to go to the r/Catholic men.
What are uterine fibroids?
Oh no. Yeah. See, it's exactly
Please
every
don't.
single question is something about fertility or the uterus or something about relationships. What is it
thought
with
they would have
women? Why is
talked-
it all they're talking about?
I'm surprised that there aren't more mass fit posts here.
So true. Oh, really? Yeah, yeah. So we have the Reddit with only women in it. You guys don't post pictures of yourself. That's
that's what I was gonna say. That's the obvious reason.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting, guys? Hey, RH, if you're out there, there's plenty of women here to give some inspo to for their mass fits. Why aren't you posting it here? I mean, this is a big gathering of different women into one location. Wouldn't that make sense? Wouldn't that make sense? Huh? No.
Christian, are you
So
gonna post there?
I'm being too reasonable for the women. The women can't understand the reason. They can't understand the reason. They can't understand the theology. They're not Michael Lofton. They can't understand it.
They don't have the nuance or the noose.
They don't have the noose. They don't have the nuance. They don't have it. They don't have it at all.
All right, are you guys gonna stop ignoring Fermion?
no, actually,
Fermion spoke.
yes. Actually, what I wanted to say was, Hassan, this is the first I'm seeing of your new look. So you finally gave up, huh?
So the reason I did this is because I didn't want to spend the money because I'm in my overdraft, and I felt uncomfortable spending money on a cosmetic matter.
Okay, so
Fair, very fair.
wait, but doesn't this sort of like ruin it?
What do you mean?
Like, you could have just like had your hair normal. Why did you have to shave it?
Because my mother kept complaining, and I thought it would be funnier to make her complain more.
Oh.
W. That's what I. That's
I
just
don't
what I
know,
do.
I
Seriously.
should go bald too.
That's just
Although I
what I
think
do
it
with
would
my
ruin
life.
my look. Like I tried shaving my mustache once, and I just like looked uncanny.
Can exes be friends? This is all.
Christian,
Okay, now let's talk
Christian, this
about
is the
fast.
perfect opportunity for us to talk about Marius Victorinus.
Shut up! I'm gonna kick you off. I'm gonna kick you off.
No,
No, don't do it.
Fermian,
Don't do it.
Kick you off.
Fermian.
Control
You're
freak woman.
you're one of the least autistic, most normal people I know on Discord, and that's what you do.
I'm
Going
a
on
simple guy.
Christian stream.
Finances are simple for me. You know, it's kind of like how you would control a department within a business. You know, you don't give money to a department in a business and say, hey, you know, you have to like, I'm giving you $10 for this or $30 for this or $50 for this. It's just like you have personal money and you have money for groceries, honey. Here's your money every month. Spend it however the frick you want. If you spend less money, you can buy more stuff for yourself. You know, but that's how much money. It's not that hard of an idea. You know, finances aren't hard as long as you don't have women in charge of it. They're pretty easy.
Joe,
Finance is easy.
Joe, I didn't know about Costa.
What do you do for adoration? Okay. What to wear to mass as a newbie? Are we gonna get the mass fit pictures in the room? I'm not looking.
I didn't
Women-
know that this guy wrote a fundamental theology. That's really cool. Sorry.
I just don't want to. I just don't want to stand out as the new girl who's dressed like a harlot. I mean, it's not that hard not to dress like a harlot. I mean, that's literally the easiest thing in the world to do. They're just like, I don't know how to do it. How do I do it?
To be honest, to be honest, every single time I talk to a woman, and she's like, I really want to start dressing better. Do you have any advice? I literally have to go and ask my mom where the hell she can find clothes that are not immodest, because almost all clothes that like women try to buy and like
just go to Walmart,
in
bro.
the
It's
store.
not that deep. It's not that deep.
Not everybody.
Go to
Not
Amazon,
everybody
dude.
has.
They have Amazon. Amazon just ships right
Yeah.
to your house for fair prices.
Literally, my mom basically said just buy clothes from like Zaria or some other company that sells like clothes for Muslims. Basically, she said that's the best way to do it.
Just go buy. What's the tent thing again? What's that thing called?
The tent thing? You mean an abaya?
The niqab.
Oh,
No,
the
the
niqab is.
That's a face covering. The
Yo,
burqa.
wait.
That's what I'm thinking
Joe
about.
Scholes has a question for you, Hassan. When will you be reading Reverend A.C. Cotter S.J.'s STD's Theologica Fundamentalis?
I didn't even know he had a fundamental theology. I'm checking
The
it out
scan
now.
is on Wikipedia page. You just scroll up.
Wait, I thought it was pronounced skulls.
Beauty pageants. Oh my gosh.
Schultz.
Kayak,
Or just-
Kayak, read the chat. Ask him if it's pronounced skulls or shoals or something.
I'm pretty sure it's Schultz. Isn't your country like half Brazil, half like German anyway? Shouldn't you be able to pronounce that?
Nice. About to read about bad financial decisions. Okay.
Uh-oh.
You should not do that.
I took a bunch of.
I learned my pronunciation from Miles, so
prestigious law school. I worked in an elite law firm in an extremely challenging practice group. Okay, I needed to quit a while ago. My husband's income covers 85% of our basic expenses. That's X'd out. That's X'd out right there. I went to a prestigious law school and married this guy who probably also has a similar job, and his job only covers 85% of our expenses. Oopsies. Yeah, this is fake. This is all fake.
I suppose that she might have married like a CEO or something. But then
Yeah,
again, why would she even be posting about this?
She married a guy who works at Walmart. Actually, she went to Harvard Law School and married the Walmart greeter. He was really nice. You know, he put the Riz on her, and yeah, she married the Walmart greeter.
Christian, I think it's about time you consider a partnership. You should pitch that to Walmart. I mean, it's right there, right? Walmart Thomism. I think they would love it.
True.
So rude.
Yo,
By the way, what's the control freak woman context? Why is that on the screen?
The what woman? A control freak woman? Oh, that was the last one.
What was that about?
yeah,
That was about some woman who was like, I don't like the male control idea, and I love finances, but my husband chose to talk about them with me. It's like something stupid
Bruh.
like that. It's literally not that hard, dude. You just find out, okay, four things. Assets, debts, income, and then your expenses. Those are the only four things you need to know. You just have to make sure your income and your expenses are balanced, okay? Just make sure they're balanced. You just need to track your spending, okay?
I think she spends all her money on like mass fits.
Oh man. Okay. Okay, so he wants to leave.
How can I stop feeling guilty, bruh?
How can I stop having
Because you're not. This is literally like there's so many women who are like, and then I committed a mortal sin because I felt bad. Like, what do you mean you felt bad, you idiot?
You'd feel worse if you committed the mortal sin.
Wait, you've been going to mass for a year.
Huh?
Maybe they won't.
Oh yeah, you're right. They're women.
I mean, it's an act. Look, it's an act of the will, right?
I don't know how to continue our conversations about it without him feeling he's doing something wrong. Because he is. Because he is.
Just end it. Just end it. It's
know he
over.
didn't sign up for this, but there's no way he's blindsided that I'm requesting this. He didn't sign up for this.
What? He knew that eventually when I am received, I would be abstinent? What? Wait. So wait. She was under the impression that she only had to stop fornicating once she was received?
She's unbaptized.
Oh no. Oh yeah. You're right. That's what it implies.
I just can't morally reason with myself anymore that it's okay if I do it now because I'm not baptized yet. Who told her this?
You eventually when I'm received it. So it's a conversation saying in the future, she's been going to mass for a year. She's like, in the future, when I get baptized, we're not going to be able to do it anymore.
That's
yeah,
terrible.
But then the last sentence implied that she believed until now that it was. Now she's getting a moral intuition. She's realizing she's not supposed to be doing it, right? But she didn't know that you had to follow the moral law even before you get baptized.
I'm beginning to wonder whether for women, like their passions and their will is identical.
I was in the exact same situation, except my ex was practicing Muslim.
No! Okay, delete this. Get out of here. Get out of here, please. Please, I can't look at this. I can't do this. No.
You can't.
No.
That's so bad. That's
It'll
so
end in
bad.
him
This is so
publicly
good.
SAing
All
me.
the anti-Muslim comments below.
What the?
Okay.
And then they mentioned NFP.
Catholic-
Okay, over.
Catholic women, please stop dating Muslim guys. You are
So
idiots.
true. How can I get close to Mother Mary?
Please.
Okay, good. Okay,
Uh,
good.
Wow, this is a very good question. I love this question. This is the first question that's not called.
And it's the one that it doesn't even have that many
My
upvotes.
husband told his mom.
These all have like the same number of replies, but like some of them are upvoted more.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Or they're just like the same woman. Went on a mini Catholic shopping spree. W.
Look how many. Oh, that one doesn't have the same replies.
Probably.
Yeah. Stop painting your nails. Stop painting your nails, woman.
Is this gay? Can we find?
Why are you mentioning somebody that you actually know? You suck, bro.
I mean, it depends on why she's doing it. If she's trying to do
You
it,
suck, dude.
What if she's trying to do it to imitate her idol Ryan Mullins?
True. Oh yeah, he has a black doesn't he?
Oh, that's true as well.
Christian.
Oh my gosh, the
Christian.
women. Okay, we just saw a woman's back. Okay, that was terrible.
Christian, did you see the guy who was saying that after St. Thomas's death, it took 700 years until Ryan Mullins became the first person to notice the modal collapse. Like he was the first person to notice.
That's
Did
crazy.
you
Oh
see that?
that guy who's like the Philosophia lookalike.
Your opinion on that?
He's not just a lookalike. On a server, he has the exact same name as Philosophia, and it's my only mutual friend with him is Philosophia.
I think I
Yeah,
read
he's
all.
definitely making
Did I
it
miss
up.
a super chat or something?
It's Philosophia.
Yeah. Why is he lying about it? That's the worst part. What's the
Woman
point?
jump scare. Yeah, the woman jump scare. So true.
Well, it would be really funny if I went to VC with him and it wasn't Philosophia, and he just by chance used an AI generator to name generator, and
Oh,
then just got the same
no.
one as Philo.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be the worst Cole ever. This is something I didn't expect. A nun fashion show to display a new, more modern option for the habit of the sisters.
The time of the Vatican Council.
The second consulum, she wrote.
The
Huh?
nun okay, what? I hate it. I hate all of it.
I think this video has taught me that people in the 1960s were blind.
I hate people in the 1960s. Oh, we had the woman jump scare again.
No.
Make the mask of a baby. Can you receive communion? Actually, actually, it's true.
Oh, modest
Great.
close. Modest close.
Because of baby, you can't do it.
We have to read the
Modest
replies
clothes.
to modest
Off
clothes.
the shoulder shirts considered immodest. No, they are not. Monkey.
Okay, but we have to
would
read
I
the
wear them
replies.
out?
Off the shoulder shirt.
I find them really cute though, and they look good on me with a pair of jeans or shorts.
Oh, I thought you were being.
Get out of here!
I thought you
Get
were
out
being
of here!
Hassan and not like Hassan making fun.
Hey! At least this one's like asking the question. That's better than
That's
us.
true, but the
listen to
question is like
anything
retarded.
You think she's gonna listen to anything that's what's said? Married legally with a baby. Okay, dude.
I read
What?
that a very different way, and I was really confused.
Yeah, how are you married for a baby?
Oh my goodness, guy.
Read the comments. Read the comments. Yeah, I'm not reading any.
Read the comments. I've had enough.
Comments, but super.
I've had enough of Reddit. Read the comments, dude. They want to talk to you.
No, the comments are gonna suck. Oh, read the comments.
That's why we're reading. We're only on the subreddit.
Read the comments.
Oh yeah, because Reddit doesn't suck, right? Come on, dude.
Gosh. I wear off-the-shoulder tops. Modesty really isn't a one-size-fits-all. If you're comfortable with them but are still unsure, I'd recommend asking a trusted Catholic woman. She can steer you in the right direction. Pro-life rat. Okay, yeah, pro-life rat.
That's literally the folk magisterium.
Yeah,
that's literally what we talked about.
Married mother. Okay, what does married mother say? Modesty in clothing is about making the choice to wear clothing that fits with the activity level, formality, weather, and context of what you're doing. I don't know. Maybe I just go in my closet and put clothes on. You ever thought about that? I wake up in the morning, go in my closet, look at what clothes I have, and I put them freaking on. I don't think about all this stuff.
Okay, but you're not a woman.
Women. Why does that? Formality.
Bro, women are incapable of like dressing up without having 6 different pairs of shoes, so that the different shoes fit the different clothes that they might wear with the shoes.
These are my one pair of shoes. I literally do not own a second pair of shoes.
Yeah. You know, someone made a point to me once. Someone made a point to me once. Somebody once asked a catechist in front of him, why didn't Christ take any women as apostles? And he said, there's a part of the Gospels where he says you can only take one pair of sandals and not allowed to be shoes. It's amazing.
Christian, you're ignoring super chats. You shouldn't ignore super chats. Come on, Christian.
Yeah, read my super chat. Is somebody deleting super chats or something? No one can hear Christian. I think he's either changed his mic.
No, we can hear you. I don't know.
Here's the super chat. Your opinion are half of Cath girls on the spectrum. I am the best person to ask that. I wish. No, they're not.
Okay. As a general rule, undergarments
So
should
true.
be visible when you're in public. Okay. Beyond that, everyone is going to have different opinions.
RZ probably thinks theosis is
We're
like going
okay.
Super Saiyan.
We're so cooked. We're so cooked. Undergarments shouldn't be visible when you're in public. Beyond that, everyone is going to have different opinions.
Oh, there's a super chat. This one's really important. Oh, that was just sent. Why does Hassan look like Michael Lofton? I've had the same question.
No.
I explained earlier, right?
He doesn't. But he doesn't. I mean,
Yeah, that feel when the last one literally confuses. What is up with women thinking that literally all modesty is about is making sure that men don't experience lust towards you?
Because this is like it's an American thing. I mean, you literally
Well,
had it was actually really bad, but if you look at some
it's
of
the same
these,
in this country.
yeah, I mean, it's from my knowledge, it's like an evangelical thing, like because those were the only ones who were talking about modesty a lot in our
I see.
See,
and a lot they were literally like telling 5-year-old girls that the reason that they dress modestly is so they don't make men stumble.
I'm seriously concerned about the people who said that.
what the Ben?
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, yeah, it's a thing.
Ben, what do you
this
mean?
is actually one of the
it-
things that gets brought up by a lot of like ex-evangelicals.
Yeah, but they're actually right
definitely
about
one of the things.
this.
Yeah,
They're
that's
actually
what
right
I'm
about
saying, right? Like
this.
they say, oh, when I was a kid, they told me that modesty was for that, so that's like extremely bizarre and so on. And yeah, I mean, if you're saying that, then yeah.
Testing LH temping. I don't know what temping is in supplements.
Oh, we have a very important question here. What is your opinion on the religious hippie? Christian, I don't think we've
Bro,
done
we
a stream
had
on
there's an
Can we do a stream
entire
on it?
stream on this, bro.
Watch the stream,
Yeah.
bro. I'm considering moving out of my house. Okay. Will reorganizing
Christian,
my
you
mother-in-law's
should-
house help heal?
Christian, you should go to New Advent and look at Marius Victorinus there.
Oh my
That's
gosh!
probably
Why are
more-
you asking that? Oh my death. Dealing with wasted safe days. Oh my gosh. I'm
Wasted safe days.
wasted safe days. This is like, you're probably just contracepting at this point. So, wasted safe days. You just wake up in your morning
Dude,
like,
these
God.
people actually have an Islamic view of the marital debt. Like, once you get married, you and your husband have a right to enjoy each other's bodies, and that's all they think it is. That's all they think the marital debt is.
Okay, well, I haven't had dinner yet, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have dinner. Thank you guys. Goodbye. I'm tired.